I could see this being the upset of the week. Is Denver winning outright, kind of shocking Kansas City.
That would be awesome.
Is Denver winning outright? Kind of shocking. Kansas City, kind of shocking.
You're now tuning into
The Cover Gang.
What's going on, Cover Gang? We're here to recap our Week 8 picks against the spread and their performance. And then at the end of the video, we'll give our Thursday night football pick for the Titans at the Steelers. So another solid week. We're sitting at 7 wins, 5 losses, and 3 pushes this week. We split on the Jaguars-Steelers game, and I took the Panthers, and you took the Texans. So we split on those. Currently, you are up 4 units, and I am up 3.5 on the week. So the winner of tonight's game, if the Raiders cover, we will tie because I put a full unit on it and you put a half unit. And if the Lions win and cover, win and cover, you will win better of Week 8. So
Yeah, I'd rather the Raiders just cover, so we go 8-5 with 3 pushes.
Yeah.
I hate pushes, but it's just more of a reason on why we get on here and we say, hey, like, and a lot of times I recommend like this line sitting at 3.5. Like, I think it could get to 4 by the weekend, and so just wait till you see the 4, and now we're seeing, especially with that Commanders game. I told you, I said it's in at 6.5, 6.5. I haven't touched it. It hit 7, loaded up on it, and it matters.
Yeah, we talked a couple weeks ago that we were surprised we hadn't had any pushes so far, and then in this week we have 3, so that it was crazy.
3.
I mean, we were solid on the Giants all game. I was like, I know we're covering the spread, and then just that overtime, just luck, in my opinion. And then Washington, they had that game outright in the bag, and then, of course, the Eagles come back second half. But, yeah.
In my 2 pick'em leagues, it was, the pick'em leagues, they usually have it at 6.5 or 7.5 or whatever. So both of those was Washington plus 6.5, so it hurt a little bit there. I was begging Rivera to call a 2-point, try to just go for 2. Like, I want to either win or lose this one,
Yeah.
Just go ahead and go for 2.
But his old
I feel like a lot of coaches would, but yeah, old dinosaur Rivera did not do it.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good because we got out kind of unscathed with those pushes. Like, if we didn't get the best of the number, those could have hurt really bad. And it sucks because it's like if we took the short favorite in those spots too, we would have covered. But it's just not what we do. It's against our strategy, so that would have been a rough week for us regardless. But
100%.
Yeah, some general takeaways though. I mean, let's get right into the upset of the week that somebody called. Like, Denver upsets the Chiefs first time in 10 years. Apparently, Patty Mahomes was a little bit sick or under the weather in this game, and you said you could see a world where this was the upset of the week, and, well, here we are.
Yeah, all I seen was an overreaction to Chiefs dominating last week against the Chargers, and they have a bad defense. I mean, even Chicago was able to move the ball on them last night with having a week on that Tyson kid, so... But, yeah, the Broncos defense is slowly but surely looking a little bit more like last year. It was in Denver. Weather was all week. It was said to be a weather game. So, and I think you pointed out, Broncos have had a lot of success running the ball lately. So these divisional games, I know Denver hasn't beaten the Chiefs since like 2015 or whatever, but it just seemed like that Vikings versus 49ers, just like you could just see the upset coming. So that's why I put a double unit on it. I didn't touch the money line. I mean, I wasn't that confident, but out of all the ones, that was the one I was like, I think that Denver could shock the world and beat the Chiefs. So
yeah, and they're heading into the bye week. They're on cloud 9 right now, heading into the bye week. So cool week for the Broncos fans. Definitely a much needed victory of the Chiefs that they haven't seen in 10 years. So let's talk about Will Levis. What do you think? I mean, first impression.
Well, we got on here.
We talked about Malik Willis the whole time, and look, I said, hey, maybe maybe Will Levis saves
down. I probably would have doubled down with you. You doubled down on that one, but I couldn't because of Malik. And there's no tape on Will Levis. He was decent at Kentucky, but first game, I don't know if I would have. I still would have took the Titans side, but I don't know if I would have been. I don't know if I would have done it or not. But I just Malik, like, you don't have a quarterback on the field if he's starting. So once one of my buddies called before the game and he was like, "Yeah, Will Levis is starting today," and I was like, "Phew, thank God." I was like, that makes my +3 Titans pick feel so much better.
Yeah.
So
And to
I went
mention
when he
something,
called, I went in and hit it again, and so ended up being pretty profitable off that one.
yeah, and just to make note, like we did say last week, 6-0 on the Titans. Well, now we're 7-0 betting the Titans, so that puts some added pressure on our Thursday night football pick. We haven't been doing that well in Thursday night, and here we go. We got the Titans on the road coming up. Yeah, so make sure to
Something's got
watch.
to give.
Make sure to watch the end of the video, see who we pick in that one. We have not missed a game on the Titans, 7-0 when betting their games. So yeah, let's talk about the laydown spot of the Rams. That was just an obliterating. It was basically like they just came in, knew that they were going to lay down and die in that one. What do you think?
Well, I came on here and I gave a case for taking the Cowboys, but I did just have that in the back of my mind that Matt Stafford finds a way to keep it somewhat competitive and right under a touchdown. It was just hard not to take the points, but yeah, then he got banged up during the game. Defense done what I thought the defense would be doing pretty much every week against that banged up Rams O line. CeeDee Lamb really just had his way with that secondary. So Dallas, and going into the week when we make our picks, uh, we'll see how confident we are. They go into Philadelphia this week, but it's just certain spots that they absolutely dominate. And when Dak's favored by like 6, 7 points, especially coming off a bye, he tends to cover that number for some reason. So I kind of, hindsight's 2020, but I was thinking Dallas initially, and then spoke to a few people, seen that they said, "Hey, Stafford just keeps the Rams around. They keep, and I just picture him throwing darts to Cooper Kupp and Nakua and Trayvon Diggs not being there. So it hurt some, but this Rams team is looking more and more like we thought going into the year, rather than how they played through the first few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about a team that just still is just one of the stinkers of the league. The Packers. You said it. The Jordan Love is just, they're looking for a new quarterback next year. And are they really just that bad? I mean, we followed the line movement. We were in with the Sharps on the Packers, and it doesn't matter. They just are that bad.
Yeah, well, with Minnesota starting off the season 0-3, you hate to see what happened to Kirk Cousins after the game was already in the bag. They were up 24-10 late in the fourth quarter, and then he tears his Achilles. Like, such bad beat for him. Vikings defense and everything was really starting to come alive. But no, I don't regret that one at all. I played that 10 out of 10 times. If it's a divisional dog and the road favorites getting the public money's coming in on them, I'm gonna play it. So in the long run, I think it shakes out enough to that you're profitable. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jordan Love is who I thought he was, but at the same time, it's a divisional game. Maybe Aaron Jones pops off. Defense creates a turnover here and there. We cover, but that did not happen. Jordan
Yeah.
Love looked like Jordan Love no matter what. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Saints finally they finally covered for us. We were on the Sharps with that one as well, and that one went as expected. That's why we probably took both of those games. We go 1-1, So they got a easy opponent coming up in the Bears, but that line movement, I'm already kind of sniffing that one out. The Saints at home, I don't know. I hate that team. They scared me in that Colts game. I tell you what, in the first quarter, I was regretting taking them, and then they end up coming back second half and did pretty well. But
The Saints, I don't think it's necessarily, and I know you've said it before, I don't think it's that they play bad at home and good on the road. I just still throughout that Colts game for most of the game, it's like Derek Carr really is not clicking as far as chemistry with his weapons. He has a good defense to back him. I mean, Colts put up 30 points, but he has a good defense to back him, and he goes out there with Michael Thomas and Olave and Kamara in the backfield, decent O-line, and he's just not putting it together. But so I do think that the Saints could potentially be scary. It could be one of those cash cows going, not starting right now, but once Derek Carr gets a little bit of chemistry with this team, they should click. And I think you had them in the preseason winning that division, and
Yeah, I did.
it's still wide open in the South. So we'll play it week by week, and if I see more from Carr, then hopefully before Vegas, the books adjust to it, we'll adjust to it. But yeah, it was good to finally see him get us a dub.
Yeah, speaking of quarterback play, there was a lot of quarterback injuries. You talked about Kurt going down with that torn Achilles, and that's tragic for that team, and definitely makes the Lions the clear favorite in that division, obviously. But I don't know what Desmond Ritter's injury was, but obviously I saw Heineke coming in, so I
No,
don't.
he got benched.
He got benched just from straight play. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't want that. Wasn't one of the games I
Tyrod got
watched.
hurt, but Daniel Jones is expected to be back next week, so that doesn't hurt the Giants too much. Hopefully Tyrod gets better, but and then Purdy, we didn't think he was going to play, but he played,
Yeah,
and
didn't really
and
help.
Matt Stafford went out halfway through the game. I mean, the game was pretty
He
much
hit
in
his
Dallas's
thumb.
bag, anyways. But yeah, he had like one shoulder injury, and then went into the tent and came back out. He was fine, and then he landed on his hand awkwardly once. He got up grimacing, still stayed out there, and then he landed, I guess, on the same hand again. And Sean McVay was like, "Hey, we're not winning this game. Let me get Stafford out of here." So
Yeah. One game where I felt like we kind of escaped the clutches of
Cardinals.
yeah,
Very
just
lucky.
go out
How
and
often
say
does
it.
an onside kick work?
It just looked like if there were ever a game that was like rigged or whatever, like people have these theories, like I'm sorry, that one, if you were on the Ravens, like you're just like, no way, like that was rigged against me. Like they're like, we can't have the
From a
public
football
road
perspective, them
favorites.
kicking the field goal makes total sense because then you have to turn around and get another onside kick. There's 20 seconds left, and
It's
I mean,
just the
less than
fact
20
that
seconds left,
the
and you have a
onside
Hail
kick
Mary to
worked.
try to tie the game.
Yeah.
But the onside kick did go in their favor. Rarely happens, but yeah, it was.
And then he
What was
almost
funny
hits the
was
upright, like his kick. Like I was
well,
freaking
the
out.
first one he missed
I
from
know.
5 yards closer, and instead of letting them, you can't decline a false start, so that wasn't possible anyways. But they actually jumped the Cardinals jumped off, and he missed that one, and then they were like, no, false start. It backed him up 5 more yards, and then he hit it. We covered.
That's
I
the
was sitting on the floor beside the TV during that one.
yeah. I mean, that's the ugliest backdoor we've had all year. It has to be. But yeah, glad that was a
Yeah,
key
that was a
victory.
double unit play for me. I had
Yeah.
him in all my pick'ems and everything, so I was on the floor on that one, but it worked out in our favor. Usually, I feel like I'm on the unlucky side of things,
Right.
those weird things in the NFL that happen. But yeah, that's we got saved by the football gods, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Bengals 49ers game. So I initially early in the week when it was down at -3, I'm like, I'm going to take the 49ers. I was like, I think the value has now shifted off the Bengals. I'm just going to take the 49ers cuz I think it's a good bounce back spot. But here we are. I mean, they had Brock Purdy come back and the line moved back to where it was set originally at 5.5. But he's struggling right now, and is there cause for concern for the 49ers at him at starting quarterback?
No, no, I don't. I think Purdy is who I thought he was. I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback by any means. I think he works good in Kyle's system. I told you last week that if the 49ers get down, it's going to be Purdy's not the guy that can just bring you back.
Yeah, you had
He's not
that
that type of
stat
talent.
that, and also the 49ers in the fourth quarter never come back or something like that.
But Joe Burrow off a bye, having all his weapons available, I think the cause of concern is more the fact that the defense is letting so much passing yards go by. I mean, you got Fred Warner in the middle, Nick Bosa on the edge, but
Good point. Yeah, this defense
the
has looked
secondary
soft past few weeks.
secondary got had yet again. They got had by Kirk Cousins on the Monday night game, and then Joe Burrow pretty much carved him up. I think Jamar Chase had like 10 catches for 100 yards or something. So that's if I'm the 49ers right now, I'm like, what's happened from the Dallas game to now as far as our defensive dominance? Because
Right.
brought you like I said, that's just not how they can really only win one way, and that is to run the ball, get a lead early, um, have the opposing defense just focus on stopping McCaffrey in that running offense or the scheme, and then Brock Purdy throwing to open guys.
Yeah.
That's how it works. And when you know that Brock Purdy's going to pass, it's just the front four or the front seven or whoever, they can dial up the blitz against them and they can affect. He still made a couple good throws during the game, but like I said, he's just not the quarterback that's going to bring you back when you're down 10 or down 2 scores or whatever. So that's they can only really win that one way, and that's run the ball, rely on your defense, and Brock Purdy end up throwing to open receivers, like I said. So Purdy, yeah, he is what we thought he was. He's not great, but he works in that system.
Yeah, so that's it for the recap, but we're going to get into Thursday night football look ahead pick right now. We're 7-0, like we said, betting the Titans. We've been struggling the past few weeks Thursday night football. Early line movement is the Steelers going from about 1.5 all the way up to 2.5, 3 on most books. What's your take on this game in Thursday night so we can have a bounce back week?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Steelers minus 2.5 at home. It's a regular unit play. I feel pretty good about it. Even if I don't think Kenny Pickett's completely ruled out, but even if he is, and we're going with Trubisky, to me, what hurts the Steelers' chances the most is that Minka got hurt in the secondary, and Will Levis, he put up good numbers, but really he was just throwing the ball up to DeAndre Hopkins. So I think Mike Tomlin can scheme up something on the defensive side to make that not happen. We do have a week of tape on Will Levis now, so other than him just bombing it away to DeAndre Hopkins, they'll see kind of how he moves around in the pocket. Is he looking at only half the field or the whole field? Or is he just only focused on his first read? Tomlin will be able to dial it up here in the next few days. And Thursday night always benefits the home team even more. So I expect the Terrible Towels to be out, a little bit of a bounce back from Pittsburgh here, and a little bit of an overreaction to what we just seen from the Titans. So Pittsburgh minus 2.5, normal unit play.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. We've got both teams where they're gritty, and we know as an organization, they're both really good as underdogs. They're really good at home. They have the hard-nosed coaching to back it and the stats against the spread to back it and prove it. But I'm excited because we just saw Will Levis. Yeah, I mean, I get it. He was just bombing it up. But, hey, he was making the throws. I mean, I want to see what he can do. I want to see what the Steelers have designed and set up for him. I am a little bit concerned that Trubisky is probably going to be in the pocket because I know you hate Kenny Pickett, but he's better in primetime situations. He's better when he needs to do something in late game and win the Steelers the game. I think he's not that great of a quarterback. Like, I'll give you that. He's definitely underdeveloped. He takes a lot of risks, but ultimately in clutch situations, the stats don't lie. Like, he can win you a game a little bit.
The way I see it more is that I don't think that they come into the game with a good offensive scheme on whatever defense they're playing. Like, I don't think Matt Canada draws up a good. They're always horrific in the first half, but Trubisky at least ad-libs a lot more than Kenny Pickett does. So, you call a bad scheme, Trubisky's able to get out of the pocket, create a little bit more time. Deontay Johnson, Pickens, has a little bit more time to get in wide open space. So that's kind of how I see it more. And the Steelers can't run the ball in the first place. The front seven for Tennessee is a lot better than their secondary. So I do think whether it's Trubisky or Pickett, it's probably going to be Trubisky. They'll have some success throwing the ball, and we just gotta hope for the obvious at this point that T.J. Watt wrecks the game up.
Yeah, but when you're picking the Steelers, you're not really picking for the quarterback play. You're picking for T.J. Watt and that defense, and basically the organization as a whole and the coaching to just pull out a cover or win for you. But yeah, so you're not as concerned about Trubisky getting the start, but that's probably who we're gonna get. But yeah, we're both on the Steelers here. Minus 2.5 is the best you can get as of recording. Regular unit play for both of us. Let's see if we can bounce back in this Thursday night football matchup.
8-0 against the Titans spread.
Yeah, and we can have a chance to continue being exactly right how to bet the Titans when we're faced with that decision. Look ahead lines. This is a good week for look ahead lines. There's a few that I could give out, but we're focusing on 2 tonight because we agreed on both of them when we talked about it. First, we're saying grab the Chiefs minus 2.5. This game is a neutral site game over in Germany, and it's the same thing for me. It's the same reasoning behind why we take the Eagles minus 2.5 over the Dolphins just a week or so ago. It's about the defense in these big games. Like, the Dolphins have beat some bad teams, really bad teams, and they've run up the scoreboard. It's inflated their expected performance offensively, I think, and I think in these games is when it really shows what kind of team they are, and it also will give you a kind of a glimpse of what they would be like in the playoffs. And I think that's what you're getting out of this game. You're getting value with Mahomes under a field goal. They just had that embarrassing loss to Denver. A great spot to back them in a Germany spectated game. It'd be really interesting to see how this one plays out, but I think the sharp side is the Chiefs minus 2.5. Do you have any other points to add, or do you want me to give out the next look ahead line?
No, I've hit the Chiefs at minus 2.5 right now, but I can buy out of my position. I do worry about it being a Tyreek Hill revenge game, but I do think you're getting the best of the number now. It should go up to 3, maybe even 3.5 before game time. So if you are feeling the Chiefs, it's the time to grab it. Like I said, I've already hit it, but if I feel some type of different way, I start to see a lot of money come in on Kansas City or something, I'll just buy my way out of it and take Dolphins. So I'm not locking myself in right now, but yeah, you need to take the 2.5 if you're taking Chiefs.
Yeah, and then another game that I think you should bet early is the Bucks. Right now, most books, the Bucks are getting 2.5 points, but there is a 3 out there, and I think that's pretty key. I don't know if that stays. I think the sharps will be all over the Bucks this week, and I think if you can get the 3, you might want to get it, because I feel like this one's going to be down closer to 2, like game time. What do you think about that one? I like Bucks plus 3 on the look ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it goes more than 3. So if anything, it goes down. But I do see it probably staying right at that 3 number. But yeah, just to be safe, go ahead and grab it in case it goes down to 2.5. But
CJ
so I
Stroud.
agree. They're coming off 10 days rest. They played the Bills on Thursday night, and CJ Stroud, he's good, but yeah, this, like I said, more and more tape, more and more growing pains. Nobody believes in Baker right now. Texans will probably still be the public side.
Yeah, for sure. We got to take the value in that number, and I don't think it's going to be there all week, but we'll see come Wednesday night when we drop our picks for the week 9 slate. So thanks for tuning in, and as always, like the video if you enjoyed the content, subscribe, listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast as well. If you don't want to see our faces and you just want to multitask and listen on the podcast version, or look on the YouTube version and look at us and our facial reactions. But yeah, that's it for the Thursday Night Football pick and the look ahead. Make sure to tune in this Wednesday for our picks against the spread for every game. We're covering every game every week. Thanks for tuning in. Let's cover the spread as always. Peace.
Peace.